Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyveganrecipes.net. So things are starting to feel like Christmas around here. We've got the Christmas music going. No snow yet, but I'm sure we'll get there soon. And what I thought I would share with you guys today is a recipe that would be fantastic as part of your holiday meal. So what I've got for you is a lentil loaf, which is a pretty popular vegan option for a main dish, and you can make it super delicious by adding certain seasonings. And what I'm going to add is a sweet potato. A lot of my holiday recipes include sweet potato because I love them. They are incredibly tasty and really nice and soft, and just add a nice comforting texture to a dish. So we're gonna do red lentils and sweet potato. And I've got my red lentils already cooking here. They're an excellent lentil to use because they cook really fast, and they're also really soft. A lot of people have trouble with lentil loaves because if you use the green or the brown lentils, they don't mush up too much, and so your loaf can wind up being pretty crumbly. But if you use the red lentils, they get really soft, and I'll show you how the texture works with them. They take about 20 minutes to cook, so pretty fast in the bean cooking world. And as always, if you want the recipe, just head over to healthyveganrecipes.net. I'll post all of the ingredients and the measurements and directions there. For those of you who want to see how it's done, that's what we're going to do next. So you're starting with red lentils that look like this. They're split in half, and that's why they take so little time to cook. Then when they are cooked, you're just going to cook them by boiling them in water with no salt. They're going to look like this. They're yellow, and they wind up looking very mushy and soft. Then to this, I'm gonna add my sweet potato that I've grated up. If you don't want to grate your sweet potato, you can just chop it up and boil it and mix it in and kind of mash it. But grating it works really well because it cooks fairly quickly, and I just want to soften it a little bit before I put this all in the oven. So that's why I'm mixing it in here with the lentils. And like I said, a lot of my recipes that I like to suggest for holidays involve sweet potato because it's such an awesome holiday staple. But if you have too much sweet potato on your table already, you can totally swap this out for carrots or beets or any other type of root vegetable that you like. Will be excellent. And I've put together a whole bunch of ideas for you guys on holiday recipes. I'll post a link to that with the video so you can check it out. Now, you don't add any salt while the lentils are cooking, but then once you get the sweet potato in there, you can sprinkle a little bit of salt on there, and that'll help the sweet potatoes soften up. Once they soften, I'm also going to add in some onion and some mushrooms that I'll chop up really finely. And again, I want to get those in here just so they soften a little bit before this goes into the oven. So all you're looking to do here is just soften up the vegetables a little bit. So I've got the onion and the mushroom in here now as well. I've added a little bit more salt for those vegetables to help them soften. Another good thing about adding the vegetables here rather than just when it bakes is that they're going to release moisture as they cook. So this mixture I've got here is looking pretty soggy. I also used quite a bit of water with the lentils, so when I put it in the directions, I'll put a little bit less water than what I used here. So if you get a lot of water coming off of these vegetables, you can just drain it off. Just put the lid on and drain it out a little bit. So once you've got the veggies softened up a little bit, then you can move on to make this into a really nice, thick batter, I'm going to call it, for your loaf. And what we'll use is some ground flax seeds. These are going to help the liquid in your mixture stick together. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in there. I'm also going to add some rolled oats that I've ground up into flour. You can use a different type of flour if you like, but I like to use rolled oats. They're fairly easy on the digestive system, and then I don't have to keep a bunch of flour on hand. And I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons in there. Give it a stir. And depending on how big your onion and your sweet potato were and how much liquid is in here, you might need to play with those measurements to make it work for you. But what you want to have at the end is something that kind of looks like it's gonna stick together when you put it in the oven. So play up and down. I might even have to add a little bit more. And the other thing I'm gonna add to this batter to make it really thick and rich and taste good in your mouth is add some fat. Fat really helps with that feeling in your mouth of something that's really rich and satisfying. And what I'm going to use is some nut or seed butter. I happen to have sunflower in the fridge today, but whatever kind you like. A neutral flavor is best, like peanut probably wouldn't be the greatest because then you'd have a peanutty tasting loaf. Although, if you're going for that, no worries, that would be great. You only need a little bit. It's gonna get thinned out in the batter, but you just wanna have a little bit in there to kind of carry the flavor of the seasonings that we're gonna add in here. And again, like I said, that mouth feeling of satisfying rich fat. All right, so as you stir this up, the nut butter will kind of melt into the batter, and make sure you stir it for a little while before you add more of anything, because flax is kind of slow acting, and it didn't look like much at first, but as I stir this around, the flax is absorbing water and it's going to make this really super sticky. Now, I like to have it a little bit drier of a loaf, so I'm going to add more oat flour. But if you like a really moist loaf, then don't add more flour. So make sure everything gets stirred through and that you have a good texture going on, and then you can add seasonings. And I was thinking of taking this in a sweet direction with some orange and ginger and cranberries, but then I remembered that I have some sun-dried tomatoes and I wanted to use those. So I'm gonna go salty, and I'm gonna just cut up some sun-dried tomatoes with my kitchen scissors right in there. I'm also going to press some garlic in here. I've got some thyme and some oregano and basil mixed up together here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle some of that in. I think there's some marjoram in here too. And then I'm gonna put this into a loaf pan that I've lined with parchment paper. It makes it really easy to take it out of the loaf pan afterwards. Now, I don't know if your mom used to do this, but Phil's mom sure does. And she tops off her meatloaf with a nice glaze, so you can do the same thing with a lentil loaf. And what I did today was just spread a little bit of ketchup on top. You can get a little fancier, put some chutney on there. The cranberry apple chutney recipe that I have on my site would be awesome, or some other type of tomato-based sauce would be excellent as well. I put mine on about half hour before the loaf was finished so that it doesn't get too crispy on top. But if you like that, go for it. Put it on right at the beginning. So one important tip on your loaf is when you take it out of the oven, let it cool off for a good 15 minutes so that it can solidify a little bit, and when you take it out of the pan it won't fall apart, and when you cut it it'll be a little bit more solid than right when it's piping hot out of the oven. So there's my loaf, and I find it cuts best with a serrated type knife, and then you can just cut slices of it, serve it along with the rest of your holiday delicious meal. And there you go. It's really soft and moist inside because of the sweet potato. I tried a little bite. It has a phenomenal flavor. A lot is due to the sweet potato and the sun-dried tomatoes. So that's it for our holiday lentil loaf. Tastes amazing, pretty easy to make, and really healthy. Great combination for your holiday meal. If you need some other ideas on what to make, you can check those out over at healthyveganrecipes.net, and I will also post the recipe and directions for this guy, of course. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoy and have fun planning your holiday meal.